welcome back to Asher Books. So today I'm going to be doing a book haul. It has been a while since I've done a book haul, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you what I've bought or received over the past couple of months, and this is probably like the last 5 or 6 months, so I don't think it's that bad. It's about 20 books. And you know, I feel like over 6 months, that's not terrible. A few of these were gifts too for Christmas because I haven't done a book haul since Christmas. So these are all the books I've kind of obtained. There could be 1 or 2 sitting around here somewhere floating in the house that I didn't remember, but I'll put those in the next haul. And I'm actually waiting on a book that I thought would be here today, but it's not. So I'll put that in the next haul because I just kind of wanted to go ahead and be able to film it and share it with you guys. So some of these I've read and some of them I haven't. The first one I have. So this one is her Wicked Marquess by Stacey Reed. If you watched my wrap up, I just talked about this book. I have read this one. Really enjoyed it. I went and bought it like a couple days after it came out because I was really excited to dive into it, and I did really enjoy this, not as much as the first one, but it was still really good. So then I picked up a couple of books. I actually recently bought these. These are kind of all out of order, not necessarily in any particular order, but I picked these up last weekend actually at Second and Charles, which is a local used bookstore that I really love, and I got Third Son's Charm by Shanna Galen, and then I also got No Earls Allowed by Shanna Galen. So I picked these up because, first of all, I really like the covers. I think they're really pretty. I feel weird holding them like this, but they're really pretty covers, and I think they're, I've seen Shanna Galen around. I don't believe I've read anything by her, but I know her books have been like on my TBR for a while now. I just haven't got to one yet, so I'm like, I'm gonna buy a physical copy. Plus they're really nice, like floppy ones, and I like that. Like, look how much this can open for a mass market. That's impressive because it's not even really that cracked, because I hate when you cannot open a mass market book. Drives me crazy. But anyways, and also these were $1.95 each, so, and they're in perfect condition. So if you have Second Charles near you, I highly recommend checking them out because they've got a lot of great deals on books in general, but especially on like mass market. So I don't know exactly what these are about. I think this might be about a group of, actually, cross that out. I don't know what these are about. I was about to say, but I don't actually know. So I'm just hoping to get to these. I've heard good things about it, and this is the first in the series. I don't know what number this is, but I know this is the first one, so I was happy to actually find the first book. The next book I have is This Earl of Mine by Kate Bateman. It's the first book in the Bow Street Bachelors series. I picked this one up off Amazon, I think it was like a month or 2 ago, because I've seen a lot of people reading Kate Bateman, and I think the most recent book in her series, I think it's in this series, just recently came out. And I was really interested in a couple of the later books in this series. They just sounded right up my alley, or street. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Anyways, you know what I mean. It sounded great. And I was trying, first in a new series. So I was trying to go back and pick up the first book. This one sounded great as well. I know it's about like a shipping heiress, which is really cool. I always love when the heroines have like a cool job or are, you know, having something in the workplace, because obviously at the time it wasn't always the thing. I really don't know anything else other than that, but I just wanted to try Kate Bateman for historical. I haven't yet, and I know a lot of people have really been loving this series. So the next one I picked up is actually a fantasy romance, and that is The Orchid Throne by, I think it's Jeffy Kennedy. I think that's how you say it. I picked this one up because right now it is Pharaoh Feb, so Fantasy Romance February, which is kind of an event going on Instagram, as well as I know people are doing videos for it on YouTube. And it's really just like a way to kind of read more fantasy romance and get involved. It's got a lot of cool events. I'll link it down below because check out their Instagram because they got a lot of cool stuff going on and really good recommendations. So this one I actually saw, I'm pretty sure I saw Jenn from the book Refuge talking about this, if I'm not mistaken. I really need to write down where I see these things so I can say it, but I think she was talking about it. I think she has this. I don't know if she's read it or not, but it sounded really cool. Honestly, I'm always on the lookout for a new fantasy romance series because I love it, and I was really intrigued that this had like they were mass markets, because a lot of the ones I've been reading lately have been like self-published, which are amazing as well. But I was really intrigued, and I'm pretty positive it's about like I know there's like a girl, there's a prince, and I know there's 3 books in the series. I don't know much more than that, I'm not gonna lie. But it does, you want to read an award. Anyway, so I don't know much more. I'm also really excited to, if I like this, check out more of her works, because I think she's written other books in the fantasy romance genre as well. If anyone's read this, let me know what you thought, because this is one I really hadn't heard of before I saw Jenn talk about it. So I'm really interested if anyone's read it. Okay, next are 2 books that I actually just got in the mail today. So I feel like they need a little backstory, or maybe it's just me. So I have always loved YA fantasy. I feel like before I was even reading like romance, I loved YA fantasy. And that was kind of where I started. Not started reading, but like started maybe my like newest love of reading. From there it kind of just developed. So the past couple of years I've read some YA fantasy, but also a lot of romance. And I definitely obviously still plan on reading romance, but there are some series that I have really been kind of craving going back to and either starting or continuing on that are in that genre. So I'm currently reading The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Rae Carson, which is the first book in a trilogy by Rae Carson. It's fantasy, YA fantasy, but it definitely has a romance in it. You can be sure if I ever talk about a YA fantasy, 9 times out of 10, probably more like 10 times out of 10, it has a romance in it of some kind, because typically I want a romance in my book for me to enjoy it to the utmost degree. So anyways, so since I'm reading that and really enjoying it, I went ahead and bought book 2, The Crown of Embers. This is a series that a lot of people loved back in the day. This is, I mean, they've been out for years, so I know a lot of people have already read these. But I know a lot of people say this is one of the best like YA fantasy series out there. A lot of people love it. So they also have really, really pretty covers. These are the new covers. I know they had old covers before. So I'm really liking the first one. So that'll definitely be in my February wrap up. So stay tuned for my thoughts on that. And in the same vein, I also bought The Heart of Betrayal, which is book 2 in the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. First book 1 was Kiss of Deception. I already own that one. I read that one years ago, but I never continued. It was one of those, it took a while for book 2 to come out. By the time it did, I was kind of moving on from YA fantasy, and I just never went back to it. So my plan is this year in 2021 to go back, read the first one, and then hopefully continue on. And again, this is a very satisfying floppy paperback, which is my personal favorite type of book. So I was really happy about that. But yeah, so stay tuned. I'm considering doing some kind of like YA fantasy series on here, just because I really am enjoying reading them. So I don't know, maybe I'll do something, or maybe I'll finally try and vlog and do it that way. I have tried to vlog multiple times. They just never actually make it to see the light of day. So next one I have is Not Like the Movies by Carrie Winfrey. This was a Christmas gift from Jenn, and I will put her channel name down below. She is such a sweetheart. I love Jenn so much, and she sent me this one, which is the second book to, the first book is, oh gosh, the Tom Hanks book, Waiting for Tom Hanks, which we both read. We do a book club together with Avery, the lovely ladies. We read it, I think it was last year, right? I think, and we all liked it. Well, I think some of us liked it more than others, but I did really like that book. It was a kind of light and fluffy contemporary, maybe it wasn't my favorite book ever, but it was enjoyable. But the couple that was kind of teased in book 1, this is their book, and I was really excited to get this one because I am really excited to see what happens with that couple. And I know some people who've read this loved it, so I'm excited. Also, their covers are so stinking cute. I can't get over how cute this cover is. And I bought this one off Amazon. I think it was a couple of, well, maybe like a month ago. Finally just wanted it to own it, so I bought it. And that is the Kingmaker book 1 in the All the King's Men duet by Kennedy Ryan. This was one of my favorite top books of 2020. It was like to be top, this duet. I didn't buy the second one yet. I'm trying to pace myself in my book buying, but it will be purchased eventually. I love this duet so much. If you haven't read this, I highly recommend. If you've read other Kennedy Ryan books, I feel like you know the kind of like emotional turmoil you're gonna like put yourself in, but it'll be worth it in the end. But if you haven't, I love this. It's a contemporary romance, but it has so much depth to it, and I love this so much that I just needed a physical copy of it, so that's why it's here. Then I have another Christmas present. This is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. So my best friend Amanda gave this to me, so I have read the series. This is the first one, obviously. I read the series a couple of years ago, and yes, I love the movies. They are adorable, so cute, and I watched the latest one last weekend. It was so cute. So for me, what happened was I found the second two at, I think it was a used bookstore, and they were in perfect condition, so I bought them, but I could not find the original edition for the first book, and they were all the movie edition, which I am not against the movie edition, but it would have been really nice for them to match. And typically I'm not that person that gets all weird about her books series matching. That's not really me, but this one, I just really wanted to match. So Amanda found it for me, the original cover, and gave it to me for Christmas. So thank you, Amanda, because now they look really pretty on my shelf. Then the next couple are all YA fantasy kind of books. As I said, I'm on like a ride with these right now, but I already read this one and talked about it in my last wrap up, and that is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I'm going to butcher that every time I say it, but I already read this, talked about it in my, in my January wrap up, and I loved it. It was so good, so good. If you want a YA fantasy with a really good romance, I feel like this is your ticket. The next one I have is The Inheritance Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Yes, the Target sticker is still on this, and the last one, because I hate taking stickers off of books, so I need to do it still. I bought this one at Target a few months ago, probably like back in October, November, and I have not read it yet. It is still on my list to read. So if you've been around for a while, you may remember this, like way back when I started my channel. I was obsessed with the Naturals series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is kind of like a crime investigating, like kind of like NCIS, but for like teens. I loved it. I love that series. It's so gripping. It's kind of scary. It's really good. And this is the same author, is where I'm going with that. This is her newest release that just sounds really cool. And I know it's about like a game, and to win this money, they have to like figure out these clues, and it has to do with a game. I don't know a ton, but I was really just like, I don't know, it sounded really cool, and I liked the cover a lot, so I bought it. This is one I definitely need to read this year, because if I buy a physical hardback of a book, I need to read it, because that's a lot of money to waste. In the same thing, I think I actually bought these two at the same time from Target. Target has some good deals on books if you get the 20% off. Anyways, I bought Crush by Tracy Wolff. This is book 2 in her, I don't know what the series is called. What's the first book called? Oh, first book is called Crate, which I read last year and really enjoyed, actually. This series kind of reminds me of like the nostalgia you feel for Twilight. I'm not saying it's Twilight, but I'm saying it had the same kind of feels as that. And like there's a girl, she's at a boarding school, she starts discovering things. There's a boy. They shouldn't be together. Should they be together? It was really good. It was really good. If you just want some like nostalgia for that kind of thing, I highly recommend Crave. But this is book 2, Crush. It is a chunky one. A chunky one. And no, I have not read this one either. This is on my list as well for this year, because same thing as the last one. If it does have deckled edges though, which are really pretty. But I do really want to read this one, but I had been told by some people who I know have read it that they would recommend maybe waiting closer to when the third book comes out, which I think is soon, because of what happens in this one. And if someone tells me that, I'm usually one to listen, because I hate when you get to like a cliffhanger ending and you have to wait like 1.5 years, 2 years for the next book. So I do plan on reading this year, because I'm pretty sure the next one comes out this year as well, so it'll work out well. Next one I have is another YA fantasy, and that's Kingdom of Exiles by Maxim M. Martino. I'm, again, very sorry for butchering that name. So this is one that I know had a cover change, and I had looked at it before, and then when I saw it, I thought it was a different book, but when I read the back, I'm like, this sounds the same. They had a cover change. For this one, she's like a charmer. For like magical beasts, this one just sounded really unique, like different, and I know there's a romance in this one as well. I've heard mixed things, I'm not gonna lie. Like after I bought it, I kind of looked some things up just to see, you know, what the like overall consensus was, and some people really loved it and some people really didn't, which is okay with me. Like I don't need everyone to love a book, but I am just interested to see which side I fall on, and I will not be buying any more in the series because I know it's a series until I figure out if I love it or not. And then I've got 2 books, and there's a third one somewhere. I think it's on my shelf somewhere, so I forgot to grab it, but I just figured I'd show you the couple of books I got from my Secret Santa in the book exchange we did as well, which I do have an unboxing for that on my channel. So if you want to see all my squealing about how much I liked them, go watch that one. But these were from Steph, by the way, from Steph's Romance Book Talk, and she killed it with the Secret Santa game. So she got me Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. Read this. You guys know I loved this book, so I'm really excited to have a physical copy of it. She also got me the second one. That's the one I think I sat somewhere, and I'm not sure. Oh, it's right here. See? Don't hex and drive. See, it's up there. So she got me that one as well. Again, read it, loved it. So I read that one as well. Read it, loved it. So happy to have a physical copy. And then she also got me House of Earth and Blood. So Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. I'm so excited to read this. I have the audiobook for it, so I plan on like reading and listening because it's a chunky one, and I find I do really well with Sarah J. Maas books when I read them that way. This is definitely on my 2021 plan. All of my good friends who have read it have loved it, so I'm ready. I'm ready. It's happening this year, and I love that she got me this. So those are all the books that I got / received over the last like 6 months. I don't think it was that bad. I've definitely been really good, and then I get in this mood where I'm like needing to buy books, and I feel like I've hit that mark in February, so we may have another one soon, but I'm trying to control myself and really buy ones that I really think I'm gonna read immediately or I've already read and want a physical copy of. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.